I'm often asked two questions. One, which is the best SUV right now? And two, which is the best hybrid car right now? I think this car answers both questions. This is the new model Range Rover Sport Hybrid. This one specifically is the P460 Autobiography. So Autobiography gives you all the spec in the world that you could possibly want or need from a modern day luxury car. It really is like stocked full of spec. And there's also a P510e, which has a little bit more power. Well, actually quite a lot more power, because the P number equates to the horsepower of the car, roughly speaking. So this 460 horsepower, which, let's be honest, is a lot of power. You know, you don't really need any more than that, especially in what is ultimately designed to be a comfortable, luxurious family car that can go anywhere off-road or on-road. So let's be honest, we don't need any more than that. So what's it like to drive? Well, I've just jumped in here to run a few little errands here, there and everywhere around town. I've got in, I've turned the engine on. There is no engine sound because we are in EV only mode. I haven't selected that, the car has chosen to do that. We've got about 47 miles of range indicated from, I think it was 97% of battery. So we're going to see what the real world MPG is to actually use this car as a car and not do like a special eco run or anything special or unusual. Just jumping in it, doing little jobs around town and seeing what it's really like in the real world. Ride quality in this car is superb. It is better. So the Range Rover Sport, the previous model, was like, it was okay when it first came out, 2018 shape I'm talking about, and obviously it's been around since 2005, I think. But in the recent models, they are quite comfortable cars, they're reasonable. But this has moved the game on so far in terms of luxury and refinement. There's even, talking of refinement, there is noise cancelling speakers going on in here. So you were completely cocooned from the outside. It's unbelievable how quiet it is. Obviously that helps by not having a engine purring away. But yeah, so you know, like you've got noise cancelling headphones. There's noise cancelling cars now, and this is one of them. It's remarkable. The air suspension is also sublimely comfortable. It really is unbelievably comfortable, this car. Now the Sport and the full-size car are as comfortable as each other, it's quite an interesting move actually from Range Rover to do that, because it kind of makes you think, well, why would you get the big one unless you really need a lot more space inside? But there is a lot of space in here. The cabin is spacious. The back seats you can comfortably fit behind yourself in your driving position, and there's plenty of legroom back there. The boot isn't the biggest. It's big enough for most things. In fact, we'll find out in a minute, because I'm just going to go and pick up 4 boxes of chairs. So we'll see if they all fit in or if I've brought the wrong car. Handling on this car has been improved greatly. There's rear wheel steering now, as well as active anti-roll bars, and they come as standard on the 510, but they are an option on this car, the 460. Now, of course, because it's a Range Rover, you know that it can be superb on-road, but also work off-road as well. Now, I appreciate 99.9% of Range Rover Sport owners are not going to be actually going off-road in it, because who's going off-road in a car that was worth £100,000? That's just madness. No one's doing that. If you are an off-roader, buy an old Land Rover, have fun, but don't expect it to also be good on the road. This, however, can do both, although no one will. But one actual quite useful feature is that it can wade, as in go into water that is 900 mil deep, which, let's face it, these days we are finding more and more floods, and it's stopping everyone else's car. This, you can just drive on through. colleague of mine actually has the full-size version of this, and he has found that to be genuinely useful. You know, he's been driving to work, come across a flood, normal everyday cars can't go through it, and he just drives straight through it. So that is an off-road feature, if you like, that really works on-road. So the battery pack in this is a 38 kilowatt battery, which is a big battery. That is, well, it's about the same size as a battery in a full electric car, that, you know, a small full electric car, something like a Honda E, or maybe, do you know what, I'm just thinking out loud here, this might be the battery that was in the BMW i3. I think that might have been 40 kilowatts. But yeah, 38, 40, it's going to be, it's probably, let's be honest, if the engine's from BMW, then they may have just taken some of their old batteries as well. Speaking of the engine, this is a 3 litre 6-cylinder, effectively BMW derived engine. I can't really comment on how it sounds because it hasn't kicked in yet. I'm still on electric only. I hope you can appreciate just how quiet this cabin is. It's absolutely remarkable how cocooned you are from the outside world. These cars coming past, you barely can hear them. Not only that, but there's barely any tyre noise. You know, there's 23-inch wheels on this car, and not only do they ride great, thanks to that new air suspension, but you can't hear any tyre noise. When you've normally got a big fat tyre, you can hear a lot of, you know, rumble essentially, but you just can't in this. It's really, really well done. So there's one crucial point to make with the hybrid system. If you're buying this through a business and you need a good benefit in kind, these days that is decided by how far your hybrid engine can go. If you've got a car that does 20 miles on hybrid alone or electric alone, you won't qualify for that better rate. You have to now have a car that does, I believe it's 60, it's either 50 or 60 miles of electric alone driving to qualify for the better benefit in kind rate. This car's advertised range is 70 miles, so it does qualify for that rate. Now in the real world you probably won't get 70, but in my testing, and my colleague, like I say, has got one, he's getting between 50 and 60 miles real world use. So that's still really, really impressive, and will certainly be enough for most people's daily life. You know, popping to the shop, doing the morning commute, school run, all of that sort of stuff. I mean, how many miles do you do per day? Work it out and let me know, because I'll be interested to see what most people actually really do in the real world. Because if you're doing 10 miles a day, in theory, you only need to plug this car in maybe once a week. Well, like with any hybrid, however, I always say, if you're not going to plug it in, don't bother buying it, just buy petrol. Because if you can't be bothered to plug your car in once a week, then don't expect good fuel economy. Because when you are running on petrol and you're just lugging around a big heavy empty battery, then it's going to be bad fuel economy. So it's only going to be good economy if you keep it plugged in. Okay, a little bit of the restricted road now, and there wasn't as much of a kick down as I thought there would be there. I thought it would just, when the engine woke up, there'd be a boff, but that was a really smooth transition between the two. Now I'm back to slow again. Engine sounds good. Engine sounds like a nice straight six, silky smooth as you would expect. And now we're back to electric again. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right, let's see how we get on in the boot test.
Fortunately, because of the curve, I can't put this one on top of that one.
Okay, yeah, shall I go around there and give you a hand? Are you all right getting that over? Yeah, that's all right. Should slot in the side, yeah. Cool, nice one. Thank you. Cheers. So can you fit 4 boxes of chairs in a Range Rover Sport? Well, kind of, but you have to put all the seats down. Certainly wouldn't have fit in if we hadn't put the seats down. It was a bit of a tight squeeze, to be honest. See, because it's got batteries in the boot, or under the boot floor, the boot itself is fairly shallow. Not dramatically so, but it's certainly more shallow than the petrol or diesel powered version of this car. You can't really get anything more than that in here. I'll show you in the back seats as well. For some reason, that seat, it's not catching on anything, that seat would not fold flat. The other one went flat. It's electronically folding, by the way, and you can see the boxes have had to come way over there. But because we couldn't get this one flat, that did somewhat hamper our loading capacity. It's like Range Rover had come up with a solution to the car not having a particularly big boot without really you noticing, and that is this, the clear view mirror. Because if you look from where you're sitting, which is you, the camera there, you will just see the boxes behind you. You might be able to just about see my face. But if you press this or flick this little lever, ready, you can now see that there's a bus directly behind us. You can see everything. So it goes from not being able to see anything at all to being able to see everything around you. What a brilliant little feature. If you had 3 full-sized adults in the back, which the car is more than capable of carrying in good comfort, you don't just have to look at their heads back there. You can just go, bosh, and look, see all the traffic behind you. A great little system that is. Really nice touch, very well implemented. So what more can I say about this car, really? Let's sum it up. The quality, fit, finish, materials, top notch. The refinement beyond expectations. The ride quality, superb, like driving on a cloud. The tech in here, brilliant. The cameras, superb. You know exactly where you are on the road. The driving position is great. It's commanding. You can see out all the way around really, really well. Makes the car a car which is, let's be honest, a fairly big car. It makes it feel easy to drive, and it makes you feel confident in driving it. It truly is a superb luxury SUV. And the hybrid side of it makes it even better. So if you are looking for either a luxury SUV or a hybrid car that does a lot of miles on electric only, this is your car. This is the car for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. There's loads more coming soon. I'm filming all the time at the moment, so please hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want as well, and then you'll be notified when I upload a new video. I'm trying to get them out weekly at the moment. As you can imagine, there's a lot to shoot, there's a lot to edit, and I'm doing it all on my own. So I'm trying, I'm doing it all for you. So I'll see you on the next video.